Luck. Now the Colts having to move forward without Luck at the helm. And it's not something head coach Frank Reich was hoping to deal with this close to the start of the season. Some have criticized Luck for making the decision when he did, but Reich nor the Colts feel Luck did anything wrong and made the choice that was best for him, as he should have.
Someone asked me a question the other day. Is there any sense that you felt like Andrew is letting down the team? And the answer was an emphatic no. And when Andrew spoke to us the other day, he spoke of how the cycle of injury and pain and rehab, injury, pain, rehab, injury, pain, rehab over 4 years had taken its toll. It had essentially sucked the passion, the joy, the fun out of football. And so Andrew did the right thing. He did the right thing for himself, and he did the right thing for the team, knowing the requirement and the commitment that's needed for the journey ahead.
Reich speaking with reporters, as we've all seen and perhaps heard. Luck booed by a handful of Colts fans as he left the field after the news was leaked during the game against the Bears. Reaction coming from all around the league on how it was dealt with. Here's Aaron Rodgers with his thoughts on the situation.
A little disgust maybe at the way that it was handled. You know, him getting booed, you know, the word leaking out the way that it did. He's put himself through a ton just to get back on the field. And when we think about the injuries that he's had over the last 3 or 4 years, and I think that's kind of what he said, that, you know, it's just rehabbing every single day and dealing with pain and having to do so much to try and get back out there just kind of wore on him mentally. And I can totally relate to that, having a couple major injuries myself where you miss a ton of time. Those are tough days, and I think he should be championed and appreciated.
And Aaron Rodgers clearly not happy with the way the news came out and the reaction from a smattering of Colts fans there. And we've been hearing reaction from around the NFL, but saying he was a little disgusted. That's how a lot of people feel about the reaction there in Indy.
And reactions keep pouring in. Thanks so much, Will. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, if credit to Adam Shine, who had an incredible interview with him. I know he watches our show every morning. He's a fan of ours. We're a fan of his. Adam, it was amazing. I just hear so much empathy. Like, Aaron Rodgers has so much in common with Andrew Luck, from their talent level to they have a lot of interests off the field. They've certainly made a lot of money and have security, and I battled through a lot of injuries. And so Aaron Rodgers, as we know, is very insightful with his quotes, very deliberate, very strategic. Like, he opened a can there about the way the media did it, the way the fans did, and I feel like a line was crossed to him. And I don't think he speaks for a lot of players, especially a lot of quarterbacks in the league, about, like, that was some low-rent BS across the board. So it's a real strong take.
You know, it's funny because all of these coaches and players are echoing the same thing. And what they're trying to get the fans to understand, especially the ones that felt like it was the fitting time for them to boo Andrew Luck as he took some steps off the field, is that it's not about the moments missed. It's not about a player saying, well, remember when I was hurt and I had that significant injury and I was out of sight, out of mind? It's the moments that you guys don't appreciate that they're trying to remind you of. The moments when they were on the field and they had bumps and bruises, aches and pains, tears and strains that you didn't know about. The reason that Aaron Rodgers spoke on that so deeply and passionately is because I've seen Aaron Rodgers out there dragging his leg like the Walking Dead and still out there throwing frozen ropes to his teammates. I saw that, and you guys saw that. Andrew Luck, you guys seen him out there wincing and going out there picking himself up off the ground just to play another drive. He didn't do that for himself. He didn't do that because he needed one more play to add to the resume. He did that for the fans. He did that for the logo on his helmet. He did that for the colors that don't bleed, just like you say they don't bleed. So that's why when he heard them boos, when we heard them boos as players, when the coaches heard them boos, we were like, damn, for real? Like, do you realize how much he gave to you? And you have the nerve to boo him like that. That's why so many guys collectively are disappointed.
I've had about 48 hours to kind of marinate on this, and now I think we're just picking at a straw man. Like, there's no face to this nebulous fan, and we're all just taking our shots. And I think yesterday David DeCastro, who was Luck's teammate, said fans think we're circus animals. I would like to say to everyone, Aaron Rodgers included, a smattering of boos, which could have been an inebriated fan, not understanding the situation, reading it on his phone, saying, wait, what the...
Shregs, that wasn't one fan, bro.
But they were reacting.
I'll cut you off. That wasn't one fan.
I'm not making excuses, but we don't have faces to these people. Okay. So everyone on their soapbox saying, shame the fan, shame the fan. Not one fan has come out and said, hey, I was the guy who booed him. So we don't know who we're talking to.
Because they're cowards. That's why. And listen, we're not saying every fan. And I made sure when we talked about this yesterday, I know it wasn't every fan. It was a small collective of individuals that could have been inebriated, upset, disappointed, mad that their season seemingly is lost. But all I'm saying is just remember the guy that was, not the guy that isn't going to be there.
Mm-hmm. I think Colts fans love Andrew Luck. Yeah. I'm going to take the benefit of the Colts fan base and say that was a few rotten apples in a huge batch.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And even so, when you start saying the fan and you start stretching it out to every fan base and say the collective fan and you're a player and you're saying this, just be careful about everybody coming out at the fan. The fan pays the bills also. Mm-hmm. So everyone, I would say, take a step back. There's no face to this. We know those people were foolish and it was wrong, and let's move on. But let's not spend a week knocking the fans, because that could be a dangerous territory too.
And the Colts aren't doing that. The players certainly. T.Y. Hilton did a one-on-one with Tom Pelissero. We'll be bringing you that. All the reaction.